So, I love this topic because it has made such a difference in my life. It has given me freedom, liberation. It has given me meaning to my life on a deeper level. To guarantee that whoever coaches me, whatever coaches me, will be successful. Not that they will be successful, but that I will take something, I will learn something, I will have a transformation experience because of whatever has come up in my life. So last Friday, you all know what happened. So last Friday I sat in the back seat of my car, holding my beloved Snickers, feeling his last heartbeat. And I have to say, I thought, where the hell's the blessing in this? Right? How is this my teacher? Well, it's about love. I love that little guy so much. And of course, he loved me because dogs, that's their nature. You know, God is love. Well, God spells backwards as a dog, and a dog is love. And so I thought, how can this be my teacher? And I realized that it taught me to cherish that love. It taught me that what's the option? I say this all the time in memorial services, but it took on a new meaning for me last Friday. That the alternative is to not love. And that's not an option. It's absolutely not an option. So Snickers was my teacher. He helped me remember that thing that I've said so many times, that in many ways were just words that I said. I knew they were true during memorial services, but they took on a new meaning because of this wonderful, magnificent being that we call by many names. Sir Snickers, Snickerdoodle Dude, Snickerdoodle Dandy, Snickerdee, Doodle Dude. I mean, he had so many names. And of course there's Doodle Dude. You know, Doodle Doodle was his other mom. I was Mama Doodle. The Bloombergs were Grandma and Grandpa Doodle. Carolyn's Auntie Doodle. So I could let that, letting him go and losing him, remind me that there's no option but to love. And that means we are hurt when we lose someone we love. And that's okay, because nobody can ever take away that love that we share and will always share. So that was my most recent experience of this message. Maybe I can put my Kleenex down now. I thought I could do it. I should have known better. You know, the reason I'm a minister today, and I'm not going to tell the story because so many of you have heard it so many times, but basically, you can buy the book if you don't know the story. I haven't written it yet, but someday. But a very challenging person is the reason I'm a minister today. Because between her character defects and mine, I was brought to my knees. And I realized I couldn't live my life the way I was living it, expecting other people to act like I thought they should act. I couldn't control other people. I couldn't, I was powerless over her and other people. And so because I guaranteed to myself that situation would coach me, my life totally transformed. I said, after one particular incident, I've got to go back to Unity. And that next Sunday, I was at Unity. And the next Wednesday, I was at a class at Unity. And the next Sunday, and the next Wednesday, and the next Sunday, and the next Wednesday. Because life in between, as Peg was saying, you know, there weren't a lot of people that I was working with and dealing with every day that were living what I was being taught at Unity. And I was not a quick study. And I thought, if I could just get her to go to Unity. Anybody ever had the only one? If I could just get her to go to Unity and live these principles, my life would be so much better. It took me at least 6 months, I'm embarrassed to say, to realize that if I would live these principles, it wouldn't matter what she did. Wow, changed my life. I am so grateful that it took whatever it took. I don't think I would have been so desperate, so hungry to change had I not had this challenging person in my life. I think of people like Viktor Frankl. How many of you know who Viktor Frankl is? Okay, he wrote Man's Search for Meaning. He was in a Nazi concentration camp. You know, they killed his wife, his parents. I mean, he suffered so much. But he found a blessing in it. He found the blessing that our meaning makes a difference. And if we have meaning in our life, we can overcome any challenge. And he went on to become, you know, famous for his psychiatric or psychological theory, and made a difference in how many people's lives. I think of the story of Jacob at Jabbok Fork. I always say that's the first email address. Nobody ever gets it. I keep saying it, Jacob at Jabbok Fork, okay? All right, gotta work. Anyway, you know, that story to me when Joseph wrestled with the angel, with the man, whoever it was, he wrestled with till daybreak, and then the man said to him, the sun is coming up, you know, let go of me. And Jacob said, I will not let go of you until you bless me. So are you willing, am I willing, to take whatever person, whatever situation is showing up in our life and hold on to it until it blesses us? Glean the blessing out of it. To not have let it happen in vain, I guess I would say. That's what this message is all about. Is to really be willing to be mindful, because I'm basing this on Robert Brumet's book, Living Originally. And the first 5 core values or core principles or teachings or practices, that's what they are, practices of his book is about awareness. So we've got to be aware when something's in our face, right? We've got to accept it. We've got to accept that whatever's happening is, and we also have to accept whatever is going on with us about it. You know, whatever challenges, if we're angry, whatever feelings we maybe have, we have to accept all of that. We have to be willing to forgive. If not the other person, at least ourselves. We have, you know, forgiveness is that next core practice. And then benevolence, loving kindness. You should be going to Drew's loving kindness meditation every other Tuesday. Is it this Tuesday? Which one's this? This Tuesday would be loving kindness. So if you don't know that practice, this would be a good Tuesday to show up here. And to practice loving kindness toward ourselves, toward others. And then to put all of that into practice with compassionate communication. You know, to really right speech, So all of those are foundational to all these other practices, such as everything is my teacher, including chaos. You know, one of the things he says about chaos that I really loved was, he didn't say it this way, but I looked up the definition of chaos, because chaos generally means like complete turmoil, right? And challenge. This will tell me I need to start wrapping up. Okay. Complete chaos and challenge. But it's not that. It is also those little things, right? It's that time when suddenly my life changes, such as when I lost Snickers. It's those things like any loss that we might have, any time our expectations aren't met, any time something is unclear in our mind and we don't quite know what to do about it, any of those things cause chaos on some level. So any degree of chaos. And to me, these are two different chapters, Everything is My Teacher and Chaos, but they're very interrelated, because it's all those chaotic things that we have an opportunity to be our teacher. All of those things can be our teacher. We can see them as an opportunity for transformation. I mean, is anybody other than me up for some transformation? Yeah, all right, I have an amen to that, or hallelujah, or wahoo, or yahoo, or whatever. Yeah. So how do we do this? How do we really dance with chaos, making everything our teacher? Well, I think for me, it's prayer and meditation, right? Because that's the first thing every week here at Unity Santa Fe is prayer and meditation. So it is during prayer and meditation that I can actually take these situations. I can take them into my prayer and meditation practice. And I can ask my heart, to reveal to me, how is this my teacher? How can I allow this to bless me? And I can be willing to really heighten my awareness of it, to be accepting of it, to accept whatever feelings I have about it, to do any forgiveness work that I have, to be benevolent, and to be compassionate in my response. One of the things Viktor Frankl said, I want to make sure I get it right. He had so many great quotes. But one of them is, between stimulus and response, there is a space. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. Did you know that? I don't think I knew that for a long time. I thought, there's a stimulus, I respond, or react, okay? So between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. In our response lies our growth and freedom. So that when I can take whatever chaos is in my life, whatever's in my face, and I can take it into my time of prayer and meditation, I make space. I make space that hopefully will be the foundation of whatever stimulus happens to me when I get off my cushion, right? When I'm out there where the rubber meets the road, that foundation of creating space in my day every morning will serve me, and I will be more apt to have space between whatever stimulus is out there and whatever response there might be. So that's first and foremost, to take these situations into prayer and meditation. And then there's practical things where maybe you do a formal practice, such as Robert outlines in his book. And that is to either sit in a chair and dialogue with the chaos, or do some journaling and change roles, do whatever it takes to really just suck it dry. And not get everything possible out of it. Not let any of it go until it blesses you. That's when transformation happens. That's when we raise our consciousness, when our lives are transformed. When we are willing to be mindful with these situations that happen more often, right? More often than we wish they would, but they happen. And there are opportunities. There are opportunities to really find that space and to allow that space to really step into it in a place of power in which we choose our response. So how about you? Anybody have anything you'd like to share? Any question you might have about this topic? Yes.
Well, I asked.
You have to speak right.
Thank you. I asked Holy Spirit the other night, what was it I was supposed to do when I had a really bad fear thought that just ambushed me? And what I got was that I needed to just stop. Stop right there, place my hand on my heart, and say, there's a lovely mantra in Course in Miracles. It says, my mind holds only what I think with you. And just to stop and let Holy Spirit put me in that other circle, which is love, instead of the fear. And that was very powerful for me. So.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, stop. I love also from A Course in Miracles, I give this all the meaning it has for me. And so I like to stop, enter within and ask, what meaning am I giving this? What meaning am I giving this situation? And how can I make it more meaningful in my life? And so I want to invite us to go forth this week, to really absolutely guarantee that whoever and whatever coaches us will be successful. Again, not for it, not for them, but it'll be successful as an opportunity for me to change my life, for me to go way beyond where I've gone before, to go from being a victim of a circumstance to being transformed by a circumstance. And let's begin doing that right now in the sacred time of shared prayer. So I invite us to, in this moment, make it a mindful moment. Being mindful of each breath as the very life that is living us, breathing us, supporting, nourishing, and inspiring us. Literally, inspiring us. And just allow that breath to find its own rhythm and pace. And then being mindful of bodily sensations. Just welcoming all of them. Whether they're pleasant or unpleasant, accepting them. Accepting our reaction to them and changing that reaction maybe to a response to them. And perhaps bringing to mind a teachable moment that you missed. You know, Jesus said, the meek shall inherit the earth. And one definition of meekness is to be teachable. So I invite you to just bring to mind something that you may not even think can be your teacher. Some bit of chaos, uncertainty, frustration, whatever it might be. And then as Father Thomas Keating's dear friend Mary would say, just welcome it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Or as Rumi would say in his poem, The Guest House, welcome. Meet it at the door laughing, knowing that it was sent as a blessing. And just take a moment to ask this situation, its positive intention. That's the way I like to word it. What is your positive intention? How have you come to bless me? What do I need to see about you? I invite us to do that in the silence. And as we gently bring your attention back to this time and place, allow your heart to fill with gratitude. Gratitude for being mindful. Gratitude for the courage to guarantee that whoever and whatever coaches us will be successful. gratitude for the blessings in disguise, even though we're ready for a blessing that's not in disguise. Feel the gratitude permeate every cell and atom of your body, your heart, your soul, your mind, as you silently say, thank you. Teacher of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you, that it is so and so it is. Amen.